In this video, you're going to see the whole complete start to finish of a bathroom renovation. Going from this bath that is sunken down in the floor, we're going to be altering walls, we're going to be altering the floor, we're going to be taking stud work out, adding stud work in. We're going to be altering pipes. We've got to set the mixer for the shower at the far end so that they don't have to get right inside the shower to get to it. The riser and the head are going to be at the far end of the shower, so you've got to alter all that pipe work, drop pipe work into the floor, completely renovating this bathroom. I'm showing it from start to finish, all the way to the end of the renovation, which is this, an absolutely stunning looking bathroom with a step down shower, herringbone tiling everywhere, really contemporary fittings. Stay tuned because this is a feature-length episode. I have put together the whole series of this bathroom renovation coming together. So it is a video I filmed about 2 years ago. Some of you may have seen it, some of you not, because there's been a whole lot of new people to the channel. I think at this point the channel was 10,000 subscribers and now we're nearly on 40,000 subscribers. So put your feet up, grab a coffee and check out the complete start to finish of this bathroom renovation. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop me a comment, let me know if you like this sort of thing, and I'll catch you on the next one. Right, so here we are, day one at this sunken bath job. Mark the chippies on site, we're on site, and the skip hasn't been dropped off yet. So waiting for the skip to arrive, but I'll take you in. And what we're going to do is, I always do on jobs, is put roll and stroll all the way up the stairs. So we'll cover that shortly, get all this covered up here, all the landing covered, before we start to remove the bathroom. So I'll come to that in a minute. That's the good bit. So basin's coming out, toilet's coming out. What we're going to do is expose this shelf, usually to here. Sometimes they pack them out this far to do with the sauce stacks or waste or whatever. So we get all that out, get that removed, just see if we can alter that and just gain them, you know, probably 600-700 back into the room, which would be perfect. Towel rail going on there. The units we're going to have black taps, black towel rail or matte black. But this is the one, the sunken bath. So because the house is on two sort of levels, it drops down here. For some reason, the bath is sunken down and the ceiling is low. So what we're going to do is we're going to level this off across there and down, and then we're going to fit the shower screen internally here, taking the bath out, and we're going to form a step here going down into 700 by 1000 shower tray in there, with the riser, body jet here, body wand here, and the actual unit here. Turn it on and off, thermostat control there. So they can walk in, turn it on and off, and then the shower's ready to go. Then we're going to tile all internally, tile to the same height round. I think they're having like a herringbone style. And then obviously get the floor tiled and that as well. So yeah, so literally first day, just turned up, so we get it all sheeted off and start getting this out. Slotted screws, who fits slotted screws now? So we've got the front panel off this bath now. I've got started ripping everywhere out, waiting for the customer to have a shower before we can get the water off. So we'll expose this, but yeah, slotted screws. So what's that, Mark? 80s? 80s, early 80s. So we'll get this out and we should be able to make some headway. I'm going down and seeing what treats we've got in store under there. So, as we thought, with this box in here, it's not even straight, it's all over the place, but they basically boxed that out all the way from here, all the way out, just to cover up this little bit of the saw pipe and that waste pipe there. I mean, it just baffles me. They could have kept that dead close, run along and just boxed low level, and the homeowner, you could have pushed everything back, but it is what it is. So what we're going to do is get rid of this, because there's vanity units going here and then a worktop, so we can push all that back so it gains, you know, all that back into the room for them. So we'll get all this framework out, and then when we come to it, first fix it, ready for toilet to go here, basin to go here, and then the vanity units will hold all that anyway. We're ready for this to come out now. What we've discovered is, behind here, it looks like the bath, because there's a bathroom the other side of there, but it's just a straight wall. It looks like at some point they've had a niche cut into the bathroom the other side. We've got a saw stack running up there, and as you can see, the saw stack's feeding the bathroom that way. So what I'm going to do now is, because it's quite awkward to get to anything, I'm going to cut these two 22s for the hot and cold, and then I think what we're going to have to do is cut a section out here, just so that we can then take the bath out, leaving the waste in, because we can't physically, can't get my arm down under there to get to the waste. So we'll cut these off and get it out as best we can. So we cut the little access hole in the bottom because the bath wouldn't get out any other way. So we'll now lift it up, tip it up, get it out. Hot and cold's cut off. Yeah, hot and cold's are off. Alright, drop your hand down. So what we got, first look. For sure.
That's the beauty.
Found it.
That's the beauty.
So what have we got? Right, we've got hot and cold coming through here. We've got a waste here, so we can trim this down. We can level this out. We can trim the end of this off, so it's the same as flush to this wall. Trim that along there. This pipe's obviously got to be altered because that's feeding what looks like, I think there's a towel rail the other side, so we're going to have to alter that, bring this, the pipe work in this stud. We can get that so that we can then sink the shower tray down into there, and then basically tank in here, hardy backer board all this, and then seal it and get it all in. So what we're going to do with this floor now, we just had a bit of a chat about it, we're going to build off here sort of 2 inches, just bring this whole floor up, and then we can put a complete floor in, ready for the tray to go in. The tray is going to come to here, and then we're going to build this bit as a step. So you're going to step from here onto here, it'd be so high, and then step down into the shower. So this will be your shower. We'll have the head here. Valve will be just out the front, so that when you're stood in this area at the side, when you're stood there, you can turn your shower on and off and see wherever you want it. So Mark will now build this floor up, or shortly build the floor, then tomorrow I can get all the pipe work altered, shower valve in. Tip for you, if you're taking radiators off, old rads, before you chuck it in the skip or give it the scrap man, take the vent plug out of it and keep it safe in the van, because you always need a spare one, because you'll go to a job where you'll need that certain one and you won't have it and the merchants won't have it, so stick them in the glove box. So we've got a ply base down here now, we've battened underneath. We've worked out where the trap is, so what we're going to do now, we're just going to offer the tray into position, just dry, completely dry. This isn't even bolted, screwed down yet. So we're just going to offer it into position, see what it's like, because we're going to hardy backer board all inside here, and then along here, and then we can drop, once that's boarded, then drop the tray and then seal it all up. How are we looking? Yeah. That's it. Perfect, isn't it? We've got a room for the boards. So we've got that tray in there. We'll sort the trap out where that's got to go, and then what we'll do this side is just put a step up here. So we'll go from there. We'll build that up. Probably 3-4 inches or whatever. So you come off there onto your first step, and then step down into the tray. Just to get a camera out, it's fucking knackered, look.
He's wafting all that.
So there we go. What we'll do here, we'll just overboard this, tie it into this, put a little batten across, bit of timber behind here, and then come down, skim, new ceiling, skim all that in, tie that in. Because this ceiling's being re-skimmed, well, overboarded and skimmed as well. I reckon he looks like a brick top out of Snatch. So day one, done and dusted, bath's out. Base is formed for the shower. Shower's there ready to go in. Going to alter that tomorrow. Get the valve on, pipe work in, riser, header, body jet, one thing, elbow there, and then we'll probably carcass that out and get the hardy backer boards on here. Tray in. Day one. It's been a productive day. It's been busy, mate, haven't we?
Busy day.
Busy boys. Right, let's go. Right, so here we are, day 2 on the bathroom. Today is going to be a case of, we've got to move this heating pipe. So this heating pipe feeds the rad on the other side of the wall. So what I'm going to do is come off here with an elbow, because we're quite limited on room and stuff. I'm going to come off here with an elbow, and then with plastic pipe cut behind here through these joists here and connects back onto it here, so it gets it out of the way. And we'll also alter those pipes there because there's a towel rail going up there, but this is the main one that's stopping us getting the tray and getting the boards on. So we'll get that done first thing. We've got to go up into the roof and bung the tank, so I'll take you up there, just show you how that's done. Then once that's done, we can get the valve placed here and then work the pipe work back from here back in. Again, we're going to have to come off here and loop around the back of these joists, get it into this void, then up to the valve here. So, right, let's go and get these tanks bunged. A bit murky. So, we've got, just see over in that corner there, down the bottom, that's the feed, that's filling the heating system. So we'll pop a bung in there and pop one on the vent as well, just to cause a vacuum in the system. And then we'll be able to open up the pipe, drain whatever's out, whatever is in there until it pulls a vacuum, and then we should be able to work on it. So we'll put this one right in there, try and do it dead slow, because if you do it too fast, you'll agitate all the water, all the dirt inside. I would advise to Grant that it needs cleaning out, and then pop that up in the vent, like so. Just make sure that's in nice and solid, because what you don't want is one of the bungs coming out mid drain down, and then all of a sudden it's going to let the tank go through. So that's that done. What I'll do now is I'll get set up here ready to alter that, get the pipe in, get the fittings in place, ready to go. I've got this pipe pushed into place now. I've drilled it through this here just because the way we would have had to come around that saw pipe was just too much of an angle on it. So we've got it there. So what we'll do, we'll cut this, first off we'll drain it out of here. Then once it's drained, we'll cut that, pop an elbow on there onto that plastic there, and then it's looping around. Then we'll pop an elbow, a compression elbow onto there, into there, so it just connects that back up, and then that is that pipe out the way. I know people are going to go, oh, it's plastic, how are you going to get to it if this, that and the other? If you're worried about how you're going to get to every pipe that you ever fitted behind a wall or in a ceiling or in a floor, you wouldn't do the job. So that's how that's going to be done. I've done it loads of times, not an issue. So we'll get this drain down now. So we'll put I always have everything set up ready to go. We've got the Aquavac here ready to go. It's been a godsend, that has, to be honest. We'll crack the nut on this, pull the water out, then we can just cut that, and away we go. So there we can see the vacuum starting to work now, so that'll stop in a minute. But what we can do now, because that's set, we can cut that pipe, put an elbow on it, push fit straight elbow onto it, and then if you wanted to, pop a cap on the end of there, while we cut this, get the compression elbow on, and then pop the cap off. Again, because it's under vacuum, drain it into there, and just connect it up. As you can see, it's just about completely stopped now, as good as. So there we go, we've got 2 elbows on it there to bring it round the back of here, and then all I'll do now is cut off here, put a compression elbow on, and connect that in. So there we go, that's that pipe out of the way. Heating pipe's been reinstated around the back of there. So what we'll do now, we'll go to the towel rail, alter the pipes for the towel rail. So here's a little tip when you're coming to fit like these decorative towel rails. Mark this main pipe coming down just on the outside. The centre of that is going to be the centre of your pipe. So then you can work out exactly where your hole needs to be going through the floor, if that's how you're doing it, because that will push up against that fit in there. So this bit will screw on like so, and then that then slides into there. So when that's bolted on, the minimum you've got from the wall to where that mark is there, as you can see, is 3.5 inches. So you know from the wall back, that needs to be 3.5 inches at least from the wall. You can go further because you've got that adjustment in there. But if you mark it 3.5 inches like I've done here, then you know your pipe's going to come up in the right place. So what we've got that was feeding this rad here is this 10mm pipe. We've got 10mm here and 10mm here. Now it goes under a tiled bathroom the other side of there, so there's no way of taking that 10mm right back to where the 15mm are. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to cut it here and put a 10 to 15 reducer. Then we can have 15mm coming up out of here into the bottom of the rad. And the same with this one this side, but obviously that was coming up. So what I'm going to have to do is bend this down. Hopefully it doesn't disturb anything. You have to bend that down, straighten it out. And what I'm going to do is again put a 10 to 15mm reducer on, come off in 15mm. I'm going to have to loop it round to bring it back up where I need to be here, just because I'm not going to have the room here to get a fitting on. Right, so the pipe work's in for the radiator. It's going to be a black rad. I've got the talon shrouds and clips that go on the bottom as well to cover the pipe up to make it all matching the same. So that's on. I've pulled the bungs out of the heating tank, so the heating's now been refilled. That's fine. Tested these. That's all good. All good under there. That rad the other side is getting nice and warm, so we know that's working fine. So what we're going to do now is get this valve on, offer it into place, get the riser for the rainfall shower and the body one bit in, get the valve in, pipe it all up. This is the valve that's going to go roughly. I'm going to get Grant up here in a minute just to see exactly where he wants it, but it's going to go there just as we go into the shower, that side, so you're not stepping right in over there sort of thing, so you can turn it on before going in and getting soaking wet. But what we've got to do is, if you look on here, the depth from the back of the shower to where this is going to be exposed for the plate to sit on is between, I don't know if you can make that out, 75 to 90mm. So when we site the shower, that bit has got to be the bit that's sticking out on show. So we've got to pack that off if need be, so that once the tile's finished, so the finished edge of the tile is, say for argument's sake there, we've got enough there for the shroud to go on. So we've got to work it out, get it spaced off the wall correctly. So we've got the shower valve fitted on the wall now. We've got the main line to coppers made into it. We've got the laser level on it to get it perfectly upright, so when the front goes on it's perfectly square. Now what I do, because you've got to work out, this is the play you've got between these two marks when you put the front centre cowl on, you know, the finishing plate that goes on the front. So what I always do is I work out that this back edge of the my level is the framework here. So in that I allow the hardy backer boards, 6 or 7mm, and then 12mm for the bed of adhesive and the tile that's going to go on it, and mark it on the level there. So then when you put the level into position, you can see exactly that. You can see the top bit of, I'll just try and do this. This is the play we've got within the the shroud that's going to go on. This is where the edge of the tile is going to be, so we know when we put that cover plate on, we're going to marry up perfectly with where the tiles are. So it's a little trick, just mark your level like so. It works a treat. Here's another little tip as well for you for when you're doing things like this, is put your 22mm pipe in, or any pipe, but if it's on a vertical like this, pop it into the fitting like so, and then just give the fitting a tiny little crimp, just ever so slightly, then twist the pipe. It'll hold it in place while you solder it up. That's the valve in, done, connected. I've turned the water back on. I've pulled some water through both ends here and here. So yeah, the water's live to this now, so we know that's good. The only way we could get it across was to come underneath this plinth where the shower's going and into there, but it was what it was, so that's in. So what I'm going to do now is start to get this over to here, to this point here, the highest point, and then the wand with the elbow on will be there. Right, so that's day 2, near enough complete. I'm just having a bit of a clean up and everything like that. But we've got the main shower body in, hot and cold's going to it, off the top. I've had to use plastic around the back here because these bends here are so tight, you just can't get anything in or any fittings in. And then what I'll do, I'll come off, insert in there and tighten it onto there. Same as what I've done for the body one there. Again, you probably get people moan about it. I've never ever had an issue with it, so you know, it's worked for me. We've altered the heating pipe that was there. So tomorrow we've got the boards coming out, so we're going to use these boards on the front. They're like Hardy Backer boards, dead similar, from the tile shop. So we're going to get them on. It's going to be tight with the tray, so we're going to have to work around that a little bit, just because the room we've got in there is dead tight. So tomorrow we'll be setting the tray, getting this all boarded out, and getting it tanked, sealed in. I've altered the pipes there for the towel rail, when the towel rail is going to go, and then once we've got that, I think Mark will be here tomorrow helping me with that. We've also got to put some timber in here, solid this up. Nick, the electrician's coming first thing. He's meeting me here first thing in the morning, Wednesday morning. And then also I've just got to then carcass out the back of there, because we'll then board that, skim that. So that's the first 2 days here on this bathroom conversion. I say, remember there was the sunken bath there. Hello and welcome back to the channel. It is now day 3 on this bathroom renovation job. If you haven't been watching, I'll put a link up into the corner to the first 2 days of this bathroom that we've been doing. Basically, it's a sunken bath, taking the old bathroom out. Check the video out and you'll see exactly where we're at. But it's now day 3, Wednesday morning. Mark the Chippy's here, I'm here. We're waiting for Nick the electrician to go in there and start getting some cables in and seeing where we're at with it. Hope you enjoyed Wednesday's video, the previous one, of the rip out. So we've ripped out, we've got the first fix in, we've got the pipe working for the towel rail that's coming up in the corner, we've got the pipe work in round for the shower from the valve round all the way round to feed the rainfall and the body one bit. So that's all in. Today we're going to be laying the tray and working out the boarding round it, so we can start boarding it and then we can get it tanked so it's all sealed in. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you're new to the channel, welcome aboard, and this is day 3 of the bathroom renovation. So electrician's turned up. He said he didn't want to be on film. He hadn't done his hair, he hadn't done his makeup.
I swear,
come on,
won't show it.
Look, there's his company. He's camera shy.
I haven't even had a shave.
Look, he's camera shy. Right, so we've got Mark in here. We're getting these boards in, ready here, and then we're going to again test fit that shower tray. Then once that's test fitted, we can get the waste done in here and then get it bedded down in, finish boarding it all, and then get it tanked out, ready to go. We're just in the middle now of getting the boards in for this shower. So what I've done with the waste, if I can hold that up, what I've done with the waste is put it into position here. We worked out exactly where that's got to go. We offered the tray in, marked it all up, so that allowing for the depth of that, which is about 20mm, got that little bit of movement on it. Luckily with this as well, this panel, I don't know if you can see it here, this panel is removable from underneath, so we can get to all this from underneath. I've cement welded that in, all in position, a tiny little bit of movement on it, just so we can get it with the tray. So what we'll do now, we'll put this board down, into position, screw it in, get the cement boards in behind where it's going to go, and then we can get the tray in and seal it all in, and that's the tray done. And then we can finish off boarding all the walls, get it tanked out.
Don't. Oh yeah. Not for the first time.
So we've got the board on the back now. We've got to put on here a little 6mm board, because the width we've got here with the board on this side is going to be too tight. So we put that there. Then what we'll do is get another bit, where are we? Here. So when that's in and the shower trays to here, we'll then slide that bit on the top of that one, like so, which will then give us the right depth, because the other board is, what is it, 6mm? No, 10mm.
That's 6mm is 10.
So the other board that's going on, the same as this, is 10mm, so that will pack it out. But at least that's behind the tray, so we can seal it all in. So what we'll do now then, we'll get, what I'm going to do is I always put a bead of silicone around here, drop the washer on, then I'll put another little bit of silicone around there, just because that's the way I've always done it. Then we'll drop the tray in. When the tray's in, a bit more silicone around there, and then pop it on. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bed the tray down on, again, people will say you've got to bed it down on tile adhesive, cement, all sorts of stuff. I've always used either CT1. I've never had an issue. It's the way I've always done it. You do what you want to do, I do what I do. Yes, manufacturer's instructions say sand and cement, but they'll always find if you don't do it on a bloody Thursday when the moon's at this height and it's this time and it's raining and all that sort of shit, then they're never going to pay out. So that's how I'll bed it down. We'll get it into position now, get it all laid out, and get some stuff on the back and drop it into position. Got that sucker.
Yeah.
Just lift that up, mate. I'll bang a few more bits down here. Well, probably won't fucking come back up now. Got it? Okay, mate. Yeah, perfect. That's it. Keep it in there if you can. Got to be dead careful to not cross thread these. Can be. It's got it. Hang on. Hold it there, mate. There's usually a tool. Here we go. This little tool, the hatch section sits in them crosses, so you can just tighten it up a lot easier. You got it, mate? Yeah. So that's just tightening in a treat now. So that's in dead tight now. All we'll do now is wipe this silicone round and just fill that, see this little ridge round it, just fill that all the way, like so, with a trusty old big wipe. Then the cup just sits in there, and then that's off there. Make sure there's no silicone on the inside of there. And that just drops in there. So there we go. So that's the tray. So now we'll get it all sealed up around the back here. I run some silicone around here. We've got another bit to slide in there, silicone around there, so it's all sealed in preliminarily. Then we'll tank it. Then when the tile's going to be sealed again. So there's just loads of sealing going on, just for make sure it's watertight. Yeah, the tanking boards are going on now, and let me just show you where. So the tray's in. Let me just show you where that waste is underneath, just so I know someone's going to go, oh, you're going to get to it, this, that and the other. So I'll show you exactly what you've got underneath there. So this little hatch is below where the shower tray is. So if I lift this up, let's just show you. There we go. So there's the trap for the shower. Here's the trap. So so we can access anything if ever need be. If there's an issue with anything. So yeah, it's quite handy. So there we go, the larson boards are on, ready to tank it down. We've got it all in here, all around there. So what we've got to do now is just pop out, grab a couple of boards for here, then we've got this step that's going to be built. We're going to tank that as well with the same board, so it's all this down here is completely sealed in. But yeah, it's quite solid stuff actually, it's going on. So we'll do that, and then I'll be back. I'll leave the lads here tomorrow to do this and to board and skim the ceiling. Then I'll be back Friday. I'm going to completely tank it, scrim tape it up, tank it away, and so it's completely sealed in, ready for the tilers on Monday. So there we go, shower all boarded out. Right, it's Thursday morning, back here. For me, literally a flying in visit this morning, just to help Mark get some boards onto the ceiling, boards into that shower area, and he's got to put some of the little trims round, because we've got Scotty the plasterer come in this afternoon, early this afternoon. Shout out to Scotty, he's done me a bit of a favour today. The plasterer, originally Rog the plasterer was going to do it, but it must be the season for backs or something, it must be the change in the weather. Roger's done his back, so I gave Scott, another lad, local lad, a shout to come and just skim these couple of ceilings up for me. So thanks, Scotty. Right, we'll pop in now and see how Mark's getting on and give him a hand with these boards. Oh mate. So we're gonna get some boards up first thing. Oh, he's already done it.
I've got these in the van.
So,
but yeah.
Yeah, so what we've got to do is get some boards up on here, get some boards up on there. Mark's going to make this bit up in here, and then I've had to make an emergency call to one of my plasterers. Shout out to Scotty, thanks mate. Scotty's going to come and skim the ceiling, skim in here, skim that, and pop that a bit in. We're boarding round there, Mark will board round there, because that's being tiled, doesn't need skimming. So, crack on with it. So, right, there we go, that ceiling's up. Going to leave Mark now to get that one up, and then Scotty the plasterer will be swinging in this afternoon to get that done. So I'm going to try and swing back this afternoon just to see how it's going, and then ready for tomorrow to get that tanked out. Just turned up back at here, plasterers here. Plasterers always leave the van doors open, don't they? So we've done Unilight, we've done John to see about that. I've got to talk to you about that in a minute. Let's pop in and see exactly how they're getting on. Yeah, you can hear me, Scousey, can't you? You can hear me. Look, here I look. Where is he? Where is he? Look, where you been? Look at him, sat down. Look at plasterers are sat down.
This is what real workers look like.
Look at straight to that. Don't get me dirty. Don't get me dirty. How we doing, mate?
Oh, mate, you?
Cheers for sorting me out.
Oh, mate.
Weren't too bad, was it?
Nah, just waiting for it to dry.
Don't want to get dirty in shoes.
Okay,
Look at that, look. See? Fair play to Scotty, he's got me out of the shit today.
Superhero.
Superhero. Look, he left his cape in his van.
Got me cape.
Yeah, so we've now got the plaster ceilings in. Here, job done. I'll finish them off, and then tomorrow I'm going to get my work clothes back on. We'll get this tanked out. Mark will sort that bit out there, board that out, and we're getting there. Friday morning, and we are really making good progress with this bathroom now. I shall take you in to show you what we're going to be doing today. Tanking the actual internal walls of the shower, where the shower area is, priming the walls, getting the tape up, and then completely tanking it so it's completely waterproofed and ready for Nathan Matty the tilers on Monday. So I shall take you up now and show you what progress we've got. Let's just get that turned off. So as you can see, Scotty got the boarding done, plastering done. We're already there, that's just drying out nicely. So what I've said to the customer is once that's dry, they can get a coat of paint on ceilings over the weekend, the walls. Because we're only going to be tiling up to here, all the way around there, completely tiled. they can get some base coats on or whatever they want to do. This is coming off plus for when the tail rail goes on. Then for today, we're going to be tanking all this lot out. So we'll get that started and get it primed. So there we go, all completely covered now in the waterproofing stuff. I'll probably give it, well, I will give it another coat. Let this go off for a couple of hours, give that another coat, but everywhere is going, and what I'll do, I'll blob onto where the screws are so they're completely covered up as well. And then we're literally near enough there. So I'll have a bit of a tidy up, whack another coat on this shortly. Right, so that's that shower area tanked out completely. So you probably cast a bit of a shadow because I've got the big uni light running, but yeah, completely tanked it out. So it's boarded, primed, taped up, then the waterproofing put on, let to set, then another load of the waterproofing put on. So it does look pretty good. So come Monday, Tyler will be in there, Tyler straight down to it all the way up. I think they're having like a herringbone metro tile, so it will look pretty smart. So I'm looking forward to seeing what that's going to turn out like. So here we are, Monday morning, back at the bathroom renovation. Just waiting for the tilers to turn up. They should be here shortly. I'll just quickly take you in because the customers have painted the bathroom out completely over the weekend, and I'll just show you just how that tanking settled in. So here we go. We've got a nice coat of paint on the ceiling. I say all round the top because we're tiling up to around that sort of level. And then inside here, all that's gone off perfectly. All ready for the tiles to go on. I've had a few people sort of say, oh, why have you tanked the whole lot? You only need to tank where the tape's going. The kit comes with a massive tub of waterproofing, so I've used all of that. It's completely gone on, covered everywhere up. And with these thermo boards, the screws that hold it in place, they hold it absolutely solid. There's no issues at all there. They're not coming off. So we've got the tiles up. Load of box on there. These tiles are for the floor. So we'll just wait. We'll just wait for Nathan, Matty, my tilers to arrive. Boys have arrived. Look.
Frosty
See, you wanted him back on the channel. He's here.
Here we
They're
go.
here.
We're here. We're
Right,
back
let me take you in. Take you into this little gem.
What we got here? Hey,
Speaking of we can do with that, you see, can't we?
You've already got one.
That'd be ideal, that would. Oh, we left
sexy,
that in
isn't
France.
it?
Forgot that. We'll get that next year.
That's a sexy
Nice,
little
isn't it?
bugger, isn't it?
Hey, it's
Watch
like
like daylight.
hang on.
Woo! So what are we actually tiling then?
So we get doing all in
going
here.
on?
So we can do to here,
Right.
because they're having a screen on the outside here.
Okay.
So tile straight down there.
Yeah.
So that, full height in here,
Yeah.
full height here,
To the end.
and then just above that,
Half tile.
follow that to
Into that corner.
to here.
Yeah.
Then that's being left.
Right, okay. Is there a vanity going
Vanity unit going along here, worktop.
So does it matter if I batten that?
No,
in?
you can
Just
batten
go-
that, mate.
So all of this needs tiling.
Yeah,
and
all inside there, the step, everything inside there,
And then the floor as well.
floor as well. Yeah.
Okay, so we need more.
So-
don't we?
Herringbone.
No.
No, we've had one of them already in the last week. We don't want another one.
No.
I said to the customer, wait till Tyler sees that it's herringbone. It's herringbone now. Yeah,
What, all of it?
all of it, yeah. Yeah, I thought they might have gone herringbone in here and then normal round there as a contrast, but they want herringbone follow through here.
I've got like 3 days to do this.
So on the step is the floor tile, this one, around it, the herringbone.
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then try and wrap it round all of the window as well.
It's just time consuming.
That's
isn't
what
it?
I mean.
Yeah.
It could take me a week.
I'd say it's probably more 5 days than 3.
The edge down there, edge along there. Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah. Along there, and into there.
Yeah. Right, so we've just gone through exactly how the customer wants the tiles. Herringbone in the shower area and coming all the way around. Naif's setting it all out. Talk me through it, Naif. What's going on?
I'm just gonna set them out and get me line set up and get a few cut ready to start the first row. With these, you have to get them all cut ready to roll, and then.
So because they're going to be herringbone, if when it comes to the point, there's a lot of wastage with herringbone because you cut the edge off there for a cut and an edge off here for a cut, that's the rest of that tile completely scrapped. But going inside there's a lot of corners and the way it's going to fall around, so it's a bit of a pig, mate, isn't it?
Yeah, it is really, yeah. There's a lot to wrap around, so yeah, it's going to be a busy day of cuts today.
Just what Naif wanted on a Monday.
But we'll get there.
You'll get there, mate, won't you? I have faith in you.
We'll do it, we'll do it.
Yeah. But yeah, so when you're tiling like that, obviously I don't do tiling, I get my tilers in to do it. But things like this, it's time wise more than anything. I said to the customer, Nathan allowed 2 or 3 days to get it done. It may go longer. Luckily the customer's good as gold. You know, if it takes a little bit longer, I personally aren't on a tight schedule time wise. I can shift what I was going to do tail end of this week to next week to allow Nate time to get it done properly and work from there. So I will leave these boys here now. Nate's just finishing setting it all out. So we'll leave them to it, and we'll drop back onto this bathroom periodically through the week and just see how they're getting on.
Sure. That'll be better because you ain't got a small cut then.
Right, it's Tuesday morning. I thought I'd swing by briefly on my way past and just see how Nathan and Matty are getting on with the tiling on this job. Because I know yesterday it's herringbone, it's just a pain. You've got to lay it all out properly and this, that and the other. And Nathan was not pulling his hair out, but he was like, oh God, right, okay, it's going to be a few days longer and this, that and the other. So I thought I'd swing in and take a look, see what's going on. Morning.
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 Hello, mate.
Hello, mate. Hello. Hello, mate. Oh, look. It's like a rave in here.
Rave.
Reach for the lasers.
Rave-a-daver.
Oh, I like what you've done there. Is it just easier laying it all out like that with the lasers then?
Oh, the trials and tribulations of...
Cut. Let's get the cut around. So I've got Nathan, Matty, the tilers, a couple of batches just to keep them going because I know they're going to have a bit of the so that'll just ease the blow a little bit. Sorted. Right, nice one, Dave. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Just sweet talk them a little bit when I get there because we don't know how they're going to be. I've bought the lads a couple of bacon sandwiches just to keep them sweet a little bit because I know they're having a bit of a nightmare with these herringbone tiles. Here you go, boys. Here you go, Nath.
You mine?
Ooh, hello.
Good to you, isn't it?
Hello.
Do you know how hard it was to order them and not have... Can I have 3, please? So this morning I'm headed back over to the bathroom renovation. I haven't been there for a few days. I dropped onto the barn while Nathan and Matty carried on tiling. Because it was been herringbone, it's just been quite labour intensive because all the reveals and the walls and that. So Nathan and Matty were having a bit of a one with it really, just time wise. They were trying to get it done, but I said don't rush it. So they've got what they can do done now. They're coming back in a couple of days to do the floor, so I'm going to pop in today, get the plate on the front of the shower, get the rainfall bit put in and the body one bit put in, just sort of show my face to the customer. They're fine with it. They know it's going to be a little bit longer because of the issues with the tiles. So we'll shoot over there now and get in there, show you exactly what they've done, how it's finished, and go from there. So I've just got here and checked out the tiling that Matty and Nate have done, and it's bang on, to be fair. Looks spot on. They followed that herringbone, which has been an absolute nightmare, round and then across here. We've battened it because we've got vanity units and everything going in there. But yeah, they've followed it. You know, there was a couple of little issues where the walls just run out ever so slightly, but that's the building, there's not a lot we can do with that. So what we're going to do today, it's just a brief sort of thing. We're going to pop this on, pop that on, and pop that on, because Nate's coming back this afternoon to board the floor, and I think he's boarding it. I'm not sure he's going to start tying it till Tuesday, just time-wise. So he's going to get the floor all prepped, ready. So yeah, we'll get these bits on, and it just sort of finishes this little bit off for the customer so they can see where they're at. So I've got this plate. What I always do is just wipe around the O-rings in these plates just prior to putting them on. So what I usually do, and I'll do it once this is all in and I know it's working fine and this, that and the other, I'll put a bead of silicone around the back of the plate. But for now, I'm just going to push it into place. Like so. Yeah, once we know everything's alright, I'll literally put a bead of silicone around the top, just down that side there, and just down that side there. Leave the bottom open in case any moisture gets in there, it can come through the bottom. So that's what that will be like. I'll put the knobs on first, but as I say, I'm just going to put that into position now. I will seal it all in once the bathroom's done. So as you know, as you will have seen, with these, I always put an outside tap wall plate elbow onto these because you can then bolt them back to the wall and then it's solid. So I've got that one in place, I've just screwed that one in. So with this, we just had to trim off probably 1/4 of an inch off the edge of there. So we've done that, we'll get that on, pop like that, and then a bit of Loctite 55 on there. I'm going to put a few wraps on because I know people will go, oh, you only need 4 or something like that, but you put them on, you know it's going to be all right. And I will also put on a little bit of jet blue because why not, basically. It's in the wall, and the amount of people as well that I have messaged or, you know, just even comment and just say, how are you ever going to get to that if there's a problem? A, you trust your work. You know, I've done it for years. Sometimes you put them in walls where you physically can't get to them. The only way we get is to knock the tiles off. But luckily these are behind a cylinder, so that's not a problem. But a lot of the times with things like that, you've got to trust your own workmanship. It comes with time. You know, I've done it before. I remember going to a house once, and years, probably 20 years ago, put a ball valve in the roof, and then I got home that night and I was like, shit, did I tighten it up? You know, and you start playing on your mind. So I ended up going back to the house about 9:30, 10 o'clock that night, knocked on the door and went, look, I think I've left my grips up in the roof, sorry to disturb you. And they were like, yeah, pop up and have a look. Went up there, put my grips in my pocket, so I come down with them, so it looked like I had left them up there. But yeah, just to check the nut, it was fine. But you know, early days in your career, you do second guess yourself. It's not, you know, everyone's done it, so don't worry if you think you're overthinking stuff. But yeah, things like that, you do as much as you can to make sure they're alright. So Loctite 55 and a bit of PTFE tape, and in it goes. You can feel it straight away, it's nice and tight. So that's that in there. So now we'll just get the hose connected on. So obviously in time, with a bit of heat through that, it will just sag down, but yeah, that's nice that. So there we go, it's that on, shower head and the body wand. So those little bits done today. I say Nate's coming back this afternoon to prep the floor. They'll be in Tuesday, so we can then next week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, drop onto this bathroom, get it all finished off, and hand it back over to the customer. We are back at the bathroom renovation. So Nathan and Matty have finished tiling now. They've all got it all done. The floor's in. They've got to pop back this afternoon just to grout the floor up. So that gives me enough time now to at least get the towel rail on, get it cleaned down. So as we know, Nathan and Matty had a bit of a one with these tiles because they're herringbone. So I'll show you how the wall tiles are looking. So as you can see before, I've got the shower on. So they're all done. They're all grouted in. There's just some little bits that I've picked up that just need going over. But they're coming back later on today because now the floor's in. How cool does that look? Customers chuffed a bit through the floor. So now the floor's in. They didn't have time to grout the floor up. So this morning I've come to get the towel rail on, drain the heat system, get the towel rail on. Then Nathan and Matt will be back later on to grout the floor up. And then from tomorrow we can begin fitting the vanity unit, basin, toilet. Towel rail will be on. We can then get the screen in here. For the rest of the week we're going to be concentrating on getting these units in, getting this screen on and done, and hopefully getting it all finished off and ready to hand over back to the customer. So I've got to go and bung the tanks. We've done it before in the part one of this. Bung the tanks, drop the top of the system off, get this towel rail connected. But what I'm going to do first is hang it so it's all ready to go. While I'm hanging it, we drop the system out. Just makes life a little bit easier. So this is the towel rail that's going in. Again, like an anthracite that's going to work well with the floor and sort of the shower fittings and stuff like that. And also the tap that's going on the vanity unit is going to be dark as well, like an anthracite. So we've got this going here. We've also got the anthracite valves, and I've got in the van somewhere the anthracite, the Talon anthracite covers and shrouds, but I can't really find it. You know, when you put something in the van, I seen it yesterday in there, I know it's in there, so we're going to get this on, and if I can't find them, I'll have to fly off and get some more. But as I said, we're going to bung the tank, and then I'll probably suck the top of the system out with the Milwaukee wet vac, and then we can get this piped up. But I'm going to hang it on the wall first, so we're ready to go. So we've now got the brackets marked out on the wall. I was going to show you, but I completely forgot to record it. I apologise. So they basically line up with these bits here. What I'm going to do now is jump up into the roof, bung the tank, take the pressure off it, and then we can whip them caps off and get it drained down. So as we've seen in the first part of this bathroom renovation, we bunged the tanks before to alter the pipework for the towel rail. So now we'll bung them again. So we'll pop that one up into there, and then pop the other one, as you can see, down into the corner, like so. Now when we pop them caps off, it'll cause a vacuum in the system, and we'll be able to pop that rad up. That's the tanks bunged in the roof. Let's try. I've never done it this way before, so hopefully it'll work. If not, we've got the caps anyway. What I'm going to do is, I've got the wet vac here, pop this cap off, get the wet vac on it, and in theory it should suck out everything and cause a vacuum for us. So there we go, perfect. Just when you pull the cap off, just have that vac ready and just a little bit of water around, but nothing too untoward. So that worked a treat, to be fair. Handy little tool. So what we can do now is offer the rad in, trim these down, and then with a little bit of play on them, pop them into the valves at the bottom. So that's the rad on now. We just need to bolt it. The 4 little points there and there. We just need to put the little grub screws in, but we'll just fit it loose for the moment. We've just trimmed that down, so what we'll do now, put the valve on there, place the valve on there, connect it underneath, then do the other one. Then I'll have to try and find these bloody shrouds in the van somewhere. But then we can pull the bungs out of the tank, and then that's that radiator on and getting on. both connected. I've got them shut off, so what we'll do now, we'll pop it back into the roof, pull the bung out, and we can open this back up. See, I know I had them in the van somewhere. Right, so these will just go over these pipes so it all blends in the same colour. There we go, just finishes that off a lot neater. So there we have it, that is the towel rail on now, ready for the lads to get in here shortly and get the floor grouted up, all that grouted up and sealed around the edges. So next part will be fitting the units, the basin, the toilet, the screen, and just basically handing it over to the customer. They've been popping in now and again just to have a look, and they think it's great. So make sure you tune into part 4, which will, with a bit of luck, will be coming next week, and it will be a case of all that will be in, the screen will be on, and it'll be the big handover. Right, welcome back to the channel. We're back at the bathroom renovation. I think on the last video, what was we doing? I think Nath and Matty were just grouting the floor up. I got the towel rail on. So now we're on the final we're on the home run. I got the units there, picked them up from Plumber last night. So last little push and we'll get this job done. So while you're here, before you go anywhere, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're very, very, very nearly at 10,000 subscribers. So if you could hit that subscribe button, I'll stop begging then, as I've said, and we'll hit 10,000 by the 1st of Jan. It's looking good, so hopefully we can help me get to there. Right, so the units that are going in are the QX range, these urban units, platinum grey. I've fitted them before. I've fitted quite a few of the QX range suites, and they're bang on. So let's take you up and show you exactly where we're at. So the lads yesterday finished grouting the floor up. As we said, the towel rail went on. So what we're going to do today is alter the pipework behind to where the basin's going to go, the toilet's going to go, and then we can get the units into position. And then the worktop has got the inbuilt. It's a form sink already built into the worktop, so we're going to have to trim that down, but we'll get the units and that in today, and we're making some progress. So what we're going to do to start off, I'm going to cut this waste, 45 it back to the wall, and then it's going to come up and into the back of the basin unit. Same with the hot and colds. I'll take them up, bring them out, take a cold across, stab that out, ready for where the toilet's going to go in the cistern. We've got the hot and colds into position, and then the cold taken over for where the toilet's going to go, and then the unit now will slide straight into position there, and then we'll get the toilet one fitted here, bolt them together, bolt them back to the wall, and that nets them into position, and we can start connecting the toilet up. Right, so we've got the toilet unit up now. So obviously we've got the saw stack, waste, pipework going through this one to go into the basin. So what we've got to do, we've got to cut out a section of the side there, which is going to be against the wall or near on against the wall to allow for the saw pipe to come through. Then we'll have to obviously mark up for the basin waste and pipe to go through there. So we'll trim all this out, offer it into position, mark it up, and get this one in. So that's both the units in position now. I've got this one bolted to the wall, this toilet one just next to it, clamped up with the clamps. What I'll do now is get it all level, get it all perfect, screw it back to the wall so it's absolutely solid, and then we can pop the front out. It's always best to leave these fronts in because it keeps that cupboard rigid. So once it's all screwed in position, we can whip that out, get the cistern on, and start piping up for the toilet pan and that to go in. So we've got the cistern out, ready to go on. I'm a big fan of these Torrent systems. I think they're a Roper Road cistern as well. I'm a big fan of these though, because mainly of this bracket. So what you do, you slide this bracket in here, like so, but because there's them little prongs on the top, that is basically the top of where it has to go on here, you know, on the back of the unit. So you get those prongs level with the top there, and then obviously I'll level it through in a minute, and then screw it into that, and that is exactly the height it needs to be and everything like that, and they're just dead sturdy, so I'm a big fan of them. So I say this point on literally every bathroom I think I've ever done and put on YouTube. When fitting a cistern, you have the brackets at the top. If you don't put anything behind it, it's going to move around like that, look. And then if the flush pipe's in the back of the toilet, when this fills up, the weight in the bottom can pull that flush pipe out the back of the pan. So all you've got to do is run a batten along the back there to the same depth as that, and then it will stop the cistern moving around. It is literally that simple. There's so many cisterns I go to where they've pulled out the back of the pan because of that reason. So, as I say, pop the cistern on, and then just round the back of it at the back there, just batten it off, bit of timber. It's as easy as that. So there we go, a little bit of a batten, nothing now, doesn't move at all. Once the weight of the water's in there, that's not going anywhere. Easy as that. When it comes to fitting pans with like this is the way I always do it, is get it so we level on the line here and there, so we know that's where the pan position is. Just mark the edge there and then just get in line with it. Put a little line out, same this side, a little line out, so then when you take the pan out, you've got them two marks on the floor there and there. So all you've got to do then now is get your tape measure, measure that lip. So what's that? About 15 mil. So we mark 15 mil back from there, which is roughly around there, and that is going to be where the edge of your toilet L bracket sits. Then bolt that down. Same the other side. When you're screwing through the side, it'll be perfect. Right, that's the pan pushed into position. I haven't bolted it into the side yet. Cistern's just filling up, just to test it and make sure everything is okay. It is perfect. So checked all around there, check there, and then what I did with the back panel, obviously you mark around the pan profile so you know everything you cut internally is not, can come out, and then literally just, and then we'll just slide, into position like so, and then clip it down, push the pan back a couple of mil like so, bolt it through the side, and then with a bead of silicone around the back, it's going to finish it a treat. What we're going to do, I've ordered a black push button for here, which should be coming out tomorrow. So we'll get that on. We won't cut the hole yet, even though I know it is the same as the one that's going in. I'd rather get it here before we cut it. We'll just get this bolted into the side now. That's the base units in there. Base units are in position, toilets in position and working. There we go. So what we've got tomorrow is to sort this worktop out. As I said, it's an inset sink with the worktop, so we've got to cut it down and we've got to get something to go down the back of there. So when the sink top is on the top of there, you can't see any of that there. Just sealed in the shower, ready for the screen to go on tomorrow as well, and then we can have a good wipe down and sort of get it near on ready. Then Nick, the electrician, is hopefully going to try and get here early next week just to finish the lighting off. So, touch wood, we're about there or thereabouts with it. But yeah, Grant, customer, is over the moon. He's coming together now. It's looking good. Right, so we're on the final push. It is, for me, Friday morning. Mark's just turned up my chippy. We've got these in yesterday, as you'll have seen. So today we are this basin unit, and as I said, it's formed into the actual worktop. So what we've got to do is basically measure the distance from there. The worktop's going to come all the way across and flush against this wall, and then obviously they'll have a little gap there to put whatever they want in. So we're going to have probably about so much off the edge. We'll measure it obviously. So much off the edge, get the tap in, and also the front of here has got to be trimmed for the actual recess of the bowl. So the template, where's the template? Template somewhere. So we'll get this done. Once that's all done, we've then just got to put a board down the back of there, match up the colour of that. Board down the back of there to cover that up, full height. Then we can clear this out, and then we've got the black shower screen and whatnot to go in here. And then just seal up everywhere, clean everywhere down. I've got a I've got a black push button coming out as well. That'll sit in nice there. And then it's just a case of nick the electrician to get the lights in. So yeah, we're getting there. The end is nigh. So we've trimmed the front profile out of this unit for the way that the basin sits into the front. So we've trimmed that out. We've measured from the back there to that edge and from the front to that edge, and it is literally 13.25 at the back and 13.40 at the front. So the wall is ever so slightly out. So what you're going to do is go on the back, because that's your longest straight edge, and then trim it to suit either side. And also we're going to be silicone round it, so if there is a tiny gap, it'll hold that in it as well. So just getting it marked up, measure twice, cut once.
Correct.
Brick tops on it. So this is like the worktop. It's like a resin. What do you reckon it is, Mark?
I think it's a composite
It's
resin
composite
type material.
But I checked. We've done one of these before on a different bathroom, and I spoke to the manufacturers, and they said if you get a fine tooth saw, then it will cut through it fine. So Mark's tested it a little bit here. We know it works anyway, but tested it there. So what we've done, we've marked it up, and we'll get this edge cut off it now. Get the hoover on it, so we're not going to lose too much dust everywhere. So after a little bit of faffing around, we finally got the worktop in. It was just a case of making tiny little cuts on that edge just to get it in. So yeah, taps on, connected underneath. We've just got to wait for the waste, because customer ordered this nickel sort of brush face tap, and 9 times out of 10 a tap comes with the waste, whereas Sod's Law, this one hasn't. So we could put a chrome one in, but it's just not going to work too well with that. So they're ordering the nickel faced one to go in there. But I'm just conscious now, we're getting to a point where I don't want to show you too much of the bathroom before the big final reveal at the end. So we'll get started on the screen now, and then we'll get it all wiped down and everything like that, and get it all cleaned up so I can do a little bit of a reveal. Right, we've got a few little bits left to do in this bathroom. For one, we've got the chrome push button here, which I'm swapping out for a black one. So I have marked the plinth bit up. I'll show you now how I've done that and how I've worked it out. Then the electrician will be here to finish off, and then I can give you a final look over. So, as I say, I'm swapping out the chrome push button for the black one, so it's going to match the taps and the whole style of how the bathroom is. But what is crucial with these is always lift the toilet seat up, and that's basically the size of what it's going to be. And always put it to the side. A lot of people put them behind, but put it to the side. So what I do, I offer that into place there, mark it vertically so we know exactly where it's going to go, but then I find the middle of that point, put a horizontal line on, then we know where we're going to drill through. Right, so we've got a hole put through there, so just basically get the button, pop it through, it's easy as that. And then on the back, tightens into place. Make sure you've got it sitting perfectly upright, like so. And then it's just a case of connecting up. You see a little blue marker on the bottom of there, obviously for the blue hose, like so. You can trim these down if you want to, but there's not a problem if you don't want to. That's connected there, and then that pops on like so. Job done. So we're on the shower screens. These shower screens, I say, are black around the outside. We've laid it all out. Unfortunately, where we are is quite tight for space. So I've laid all the beads out there. We've got the glass there, we've got the door there. But what we've got in here is I'm just going through the instructions with it. As always, whenever you do a shower screen, always just sit for the first half an hour and go through the instructions all the way through, just to make sure you know what you're doing with it. So it's basically telling me to fit the profile onto here, which I'm going to do, and then because it's got a door that slides into itself, the profile is going to sit back. I think it's 60mm to here, and then we've got to trim this bar. This sort of, it will go on there. But obviously we'll trim that back to suit wherever it's got to go, because you are limited by where the glass screen's going to go. So we'll get this profile up on the wall, get this screen in, and then I think, from what I can tell, we're going to work from there. It does say if the screen's going on top of a tray, to drill into the tray. Now, I've always been a little bit wary about drilling into shower trays. But, right, let's get this profile up. So what I've done, I've got the laser level out, put it to this mark here, because this is what's going to be 60mm from the tray. And then obviously up the wall there, and as you can see, we've marked out where they've got to go at the top. So we can get that profile on, get this screen in, that will sit onto the bottom of the screen, drill that through, and then we can seal that front edge. Well, we'll obviously seal it all up at the end, but that front edge will be sealed. And then this bar will sit across the front there. Right, as always, I always put a little bit of silicone across that back edge where the back of the profile is going to go, and I always put a bead of silicone down the back of the profile. I know some people don't, I do. I just like to know it's there for my own sort of peace of mind. So we'll pop that on and get the profile up. Right, fitting that screen, I've just nearly lost the head with it. It's one of them ones where you put everything in, sort of in position, then you have to mark up, then you have to take it out, then you have to put it back in, mark it again, cut a bit off, this, that and the other. It's got like a bar across the top that needed loads of bits doing on it. Some shower screens are just so fiddly. So apologise for not showing you the install on that too much, but I just wanted to get it in and it was doing my head in. But we all know with shower screen, take your time, read the instructions, check, and you know, just make a good job of sealing it up. Right, I'm gonna have white down now, get white down everywhere. Hopefully Nick the electrician will be here soon, we'll get the lights in, and we're still waiting on the waste for the basin, apparently, because the customers ordered it because they wanted a specific one. Apparently DPD are running late or something like that, so that's out of my control. Right, we wait for them bits. So it's the final last little push of this bathroom now. I've just collected, or it's just arrived, the sort of the brushed nickel is it? I suppose it is, just to match the tap. So that's going to sit in there and just work really well with that. So what I'll do is, I think I've said before, I never use the washers on these, never have done, so I'll put a bead of silicone around there, get it mounted inside the basin, get it sealed up, get the trap on, and then that'll be the basin done. And we're just waiting for Nick the electrician to arrive to pop the lights in, extract a fan, give it a good wipe down, and I can show you exactly how it's looking. Right, so electricians has just turned up. Nick is again camera shy. Peg's doing all the hard work.
Peggy ain't camera shy.
Peggy loves a bit of. You got spotted last time, Nick, didn't you? Who's your mate? Who's seen you?
Sean.
Sean.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sean. He's here again. Look, got him. So we've got the holes drilled out for the lights. We're having the 4 spots in the ceiling, and then Nick's going to put another one just inside the shower area, further down that side for the, so you're going to get the throw of it. So it's all finished, all cleaned down, all wiped down. Electricians put the lights in, so I shall take you in now and show you exactly how we've finished it off. I will put a picture to how it was before with the sunken bath, so you can sort of see how it was. In fact, I'll chuck that up there now. So as you can see, you had the sunken bath, dead 80s sort of style, don't know, maybe. So basically the customer wanted that out and a shower area putting into where that sunken bath was. And as you can see from the back, the wall was built out quite a bit where the basin and toilet was, so we've got rid of that, turned it all round. So I'll take you in now and show you how it looks. So there we go, I'm dead pleased with this. I think it looks brilliant. So we've got the anthracite towel rail, got the QX line of basin units, toilet unit, and we swapped the chrome push button for the black one. And I said this basin worktop is like a it's not sure what it is, like a Korean sort of thing, but the basin's obviously formed into it with a nickel brush tap, nickel brush waste. So we got that there, and then the favourite bit is this sunken shower now. As I say, there was a bath there, so we took that out, altered the floors around, and now they've got a step down. So you've got a nice little step there, down into the shower. So you've got your body wand, you've got your top. I'm really pleased with how this has turned out. Grant and Becky, the customers, they've just been up, showed them around it, they love it. So yeah, I'm dead pleased how that's turned out. So yeah, really pleased with it. So a little shout out to Mark the Chippy for his work on it, Nathan and Matty the tilers. We all know, I think everyone likes the tilers because I literally dropped them in on it. They've done a mega job with it. And a shout out to Scotty for skimming the ceiling at short notice, and to Nick and Peg, the electricians, for coming today and getting the lights in. So yeah, hope you like it. I've really enjoyed doing this bathroom. It's something a bit different with the sunken shower. So yeah, I really appreciate all the comments I've had from it, the whole series of it. I think we've done it over 4 parts. And I'm just dead pleased with this one, really pleased with it. So thanks for watching, thanks for all the comments. If you've got any comments, questions, drop me a message. If not, if you haven't hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, get us up to that 10,000 subscribers. I think we're about 500 away, so it'll be mega, just off the back of this. Just give me a subscribe off the back of this. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it, and I shall catch you in the next one.